Internet, good morning. This is Daybreak Sound 48 coming back at you guys with once again another Figma review. Today we are going to be looking at Figma number 281, Fubuki, the animated version from Kantai collection or Kankolai. Now, recently I just finished watching Kantai collection or Kankolai, and I thought it was a very cutesy story. I have never played the game before, so I had no idea who these characters were, but to see these characters in this anime, I thought, hey, it just all clicked. Now, it was interesting because when I watched the anime, there were certain characters who I thought were one way because of the way the figure presented itself. They looked more on like the shy, the cutesy side. But then when I watched the anime, they were completely different. They were like these crazy, like angry characters. So I'm like, I wonder why Figma didn't give us like face sculpts and different expressions that match the character more precisely. Others, they got spot on, but there were some that I thought it was just really weird. But with that being said, let's take a look at Fubuki here. She is the main character from this first season. You see the open display window with all of her accessories. You see the Figma number 281, Fubuki animation version. On this side, you have a nice picture of Fubuki. On the back, you have all the different poses you can get Fubuki in. On this side, another great picture of Fubuki. Alright, with that being said, guys, give me a sec. I'm going to take Fubuki here out of package and we will see what she has to offer. Be back in a few. Alright, guys, and we are back. We have Fubuki out of package, and once again, Figma has done a phenomenal job. Now, I feel like I say that over and over again, but it's the truth. When it comes to anime characters, Figma is the top dog. I mean, there is no competition when it comes to these anime characters. Reveltech, they fall short. SH Figuarts, they're okay. They're very close to the Figma, but Figma still has an edge over them. And there's no actual company that I feel could compete with Figma. The amount of playability, the amount of articulation, the amount of detail, everything about this screams top-notch figure. So, Fubuki here is no different. Now with that being said, let's move Fubuki out of the way, and I'm going to show you first of all what you can expect with a Figma. So here we go. The standard stuff that you get with a Figma is a display base right here. Pretty cool. To go along with that display base, you get this nice little additional piece that you can put right there, and this is for those more, I guess, dynamic poses. If you want Fubuki to be kind of flying or whatever, you can use this to make it look like that. So that's pretty cool. The next set of accessories that she comes with, or all Figma come with, is the nice little goodie bag. Now these are awesome for those of you guys who do not like to hold on to the boxes. You could put pretty much everything in here and it'll be safe. Now I have heard that this seal right here does like to fall apart, but I haven't had any issues, so I can't really say because I have had no experience like that. Alright, the next thing that I would like to showcase is the instruction manual. It comes in both English and Japanese, so if you are new to the Figma world, then I highly recommend you read it. Even if you aren't new, then still you should be reading this so you don't damage your figure. So here's the English side, which is the one I read, and then here's the Japanese. Okay. Up next, we have the rack of hands. Yes, you get some close-fisted hands, you get some gripping hands, you get these nice relaxed hands, and then you have this finger-pointing hand, but this one's actually a unique hand just for Fubuki because she needs it to hold her turrets, I guess. So that's pretty cool. Then, you also get, and this is something that Figma has recently been doing, they've been including these spare joints just in case you happen to break one. So that's awesome. Alright, moving on to the actual accessories for Fubuki. You get the battleship piece that all of the kantai girls have. So that's pretty cool. Hers is unique to her character, obviously. You also get her turret, like I said. And there's this nice plastic piece that's gonna kind of be like a, I don't know, a holster of sorts. And then that's that. Now, do these move? I don't think they do, honestly. From the looks of the pictures, I don't think it moves either. So, these are staction pieces, but very, very nice. Now, mine did come off, but don't stress, it's supposed to. As you guys can clearly see, it's not fully connected here. So if you want to display your Fubuki with just a turret, that's fine. If you want to connect this like that, that's also fine. Up to you. And then you get two separate face plates. You get this kind of embarrassed smiling face, and then you get the battle ready shouting face. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so that's pretty much for the accessories. So let's take a look at the actual figure. Here is Fubuki in all her glory. She looks just like how she looked in the anime. I love the little ponytail that she has. She is supposed to look like a, I guess, a middle schooler or even an elementary school type of girl. As you guys can clearly see, all the attention to detail when it comes to her battleship pieces are just very, very nicely done. The sculpting on these and the paint, everything looks spot on. Now, you would think because of all these pieces, the articulation would be hindered, but it's actually not, and that's the beauty of what Figma is capable of doing. Now, real quickly, before we take a look at the articulation, head can fully rotate. She can look all the way down, can look all the way up. Well, not all the way up, she can look that far up. She can tilt her head side to side. Her arms can fully rotate. There's a bicep swivel built in right there. She has a hinge right here. She has that Figma joint, which is the one gripe that I do have with Figma. Their joints kind of look ugly, especially when it's like a part like this where there's no like clothing that can mask that. So if it's just bare skin, it kind of looks off, but you have to live with it. The hands can fully rotate and they're on that hinge. So pretty good stuff there. The upper diaphragm has massive amounts of motion right here. You can see the attention to detail real quickly with the sculpt. Very, very skinny character right here. And then that's that. Now if you go all the way back, you still can't see in there, so that's pretty good. She can bend forward. She doesn't have a waist swivel to my knowledge, but this right here is definitely enough. The turrets right here are on a little ball peg so they can move. The legs can go all the way out, can go forward, Figma joint at the knees. The feet can go down that far, can go up that far, and they have the beautiful rocker. So all the articulation you could possibly ever want. Now, oh, I still have that plastic. Alright, so first let me show you what you can do with this figure. Real quickly, we're going to start swapping out some pieces because I personally don't like this smiling face. This smiling face is kind of creepy in my opinion. So, in order to swap out the faces, pull off the existing hairpiece. The front hairpiece comes off just like that. Pull off the existing face, and then we're going to put in the battle face because that looks freaking cool. And then I'm gonna put her hair in, and bam, that is all done. Now, in order for you to put the battleship piece in, this is what I recommend you do. So pull her arms all the way back, make sure it's bent just like this. Her hands are out just like that, and slowly you're going to kind of finagle your way through, and it shouldn't be too difficult here. I actually this is my second time doing it. Hopefully this figure doesn't make me look like a liar, and nope, it hasn't. I'm putting that little peg into the back, and then we're gonna slide it through, and voila, there you have it. Simple as that. Looking good. This can also swivel, just letting you know. So that's good. Alright, real quickly, I'm gonna get, actually I'll show you that first, and then we'll call it a day. I'm gonna take this hand right here, and for me personally, I'm gonna take off this piece because I don't really feel the need to have it. So here we go. There's the peg, here's the little hole, here's the hand that you need, and voila, it's as simple as that. Then we're gonna pull off the existing hand. Just pull it off, revealing that little peg, and then put on the hand that you want. Simple as that. Alright guys, let me get her in a pose that I want her to be in, and then we'll call it a day. Be back in a few. Alright guys, and this is a wrap. We have Fubuki with all of her accessories on her at this point in time. At first I didn't like this smiling face, but this is who Fubuki is. If you haven't watched the anime, she's like a very upbeat, positive, work hard type of girl. So yeah, I wanted to pretty much showcase that when I display the figure, so that's why I went back to it. So there you guys have it. Guys, if you are trying to get into this whole kantai collection world, I highly recommend it because it's a lot of fun. The girls are very unique, and I love all the different battleships that we're getting, and it's just interesting, you know? So with that being said, leave in the comment section down below what you guys think about this particular figure. If you picked this one up, how do you guys like it? Now, hopefully, crossing my fingers, in the future, Figma will release the updated version of her. That would be pretty freaking baller. Now with that being said, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to stop by and watch this video. I'll have some more Figma goodness coming your way very, very soon. And until next time guys, this is Daybreak 748. I'm signing out. Peace out guys.